So let's meet our speakers. Today we have Sam BL.INK from Room and Board. Hi, Sam. We have Spencer Yonke from Room and Board. We have Dave Smith from ObservePoint.
Hi, everyone.
And we have Andy Meadows from BL.INK. So we are going to, today, let's look at the agenda real quick. We're gonna, Room and Board is gonna show their stories about how they met some pretty amazing goals by partnering with ObservePoint and BL.INK. And super excited to get started. We're gonna hear just a few words from our sponsors first. So Dave, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dave Smith. I'm the CTO at ObservePoint. Excited to be here. Had a great experience working with Room and Board, helping them to achieve some of these goals. I want to tell you just a few things about ObservePoint. So we are a SaaS product that easily allows you to monitor your website's technologies, privacy compliance, the correctness of your analytics, the performance of your web pages, identifying broken pages, finding accessibility issues, validating that user flows work well. And we serve many of the world's biggest companies to help manage some of the world's most complex websites on Earth, including 45 of the Fortune 100 and many other companies out there who have a desire to monitor and validate that their websites are behaving correctly. If you could go to the next slide, in a nutshell, if you have analytics on your website, that's great because it tells you what your users do on your website. ObservePoint shows you what your website does to your users. Just a couple quick examples. Is your website honoring your users' consent for privacy when they say, I don't want to be tracked? Is your website actually not tracking them? ObservePoint can help you with that. Are your analytics actually deployed correctly on all of your pages and not double counting or counting at all? ObservePoint can help you with that. And are all of your query parameters for campaign tracking and all the other things, and that's a little bit more we'll talk about today, are those getting passed through all the various systems correctly so that they get counted properly? ObservePoint can help you with all of that. And if you have questions, of course, we'll have a Q&A session at the end. And if you want to go experience ObservePoint yourself and see if it will help you, go try out a free account at observepoint.com.
Dave. Hi, everyone. My name is Andy Meadows with BL.INK, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about what BL.INK does. So we take short links and branded QR codes, and we manage, monitor, and measure them for you. Everyone knows that the best links are long and ugly and full of amazing attribution data that helps you track and manage each aspect of your campaign across your entire organization. With the governance and compliance aspect, it keeps everyone on the same page, using the same tools, the same ways, to make sure that everyone is following the same standards, ultimately resulting in better data and better customer experiences. From our standpoint, we look at every link as an amazing touch point for you to interact with your audience. You spend millions of dollars creating the perfect assets and customer experiences, and the links are as critical as the destinations. So we hope that you'll enjoy the content today. Room and Board has an amazing story to tell you about their journey with both BL.INK and ObservePoint and how we help them accomplish some goals. They're really pushing the envelope on some new and creative and interesting ways to solve some of the common problems that everyone has in today's modern marketing stack. And so I'm excited to hear the story today and I'm excited to share it with you. Spencer and Sam, take it away.
Thanks, Andy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Room and Board first in the company, and then I'll jump into ways that we are able to utilize and work with BL.INK and ObservePoint and the types of returns that we saw from that. So I'm Spencer again. I'm the digital marketing manager here at Room and Board. Room and Board is a 100% employee-owned company. We specialize in modern home furnishings. We've been focusing mainly on quality, value, and service since 1980, which has really built our reputation as one of the most respected furniture retailers here in the US. We're based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have 1,100 employees and a network of 23 brick and mortar store locations and 13 distribution centers across the country. We're also proud to be a certified B Corp as of early this year. which we're very excited about and which really solidifies our long-standing commitment to sustainability in the community, which is a big focus of ours as a company. Hopefully you all have some room and board furniture in your home. And if not, hopefully you'll have some after this webinar. So today we're going to walk through how we received an estimated 163 times return on our investment with BL.INK and ObservePoint. And I know that sounds like a crazy number, but it's really an accumulation of many different time and money saving aspects that helped us lead to this level of return. I'm going to have Andy just kind of pause on this slide for a little bit. I think this is a really good opportunity for everyone this is a great screenshot opportunity, just because it has a lot of really specific examples of things that we did with both ObservePoint and BL.INK to help achieve some of our, or at least get closer to some of our company goals. And I think a lot of these are going to resonate with your own teams and companies too, of low-hanging fruit to be able to accomplish with these two partners here. So over the next few slides here, I'm going to talk through how these very specific use cases helped contribute to a few of our main company goals that we have. So we went to BL.INK and ObservePoint with 3 main business goals in mind, and I'm sure a lot of you likely have very similar company goals to these. So I'm going to talk through each of these goals and those specific examples that were in that last slide, how they contributed towards each of these 3 company goals. So the first one I'm going to talk through is improving our customer experience. This is one, if not the main goal of ours at Room and Board here. Customer experience is such a core piece of our company and how we grow and maintain customers, and we really strive to provide the best customer experience for every single interaction, both online and offline. So a few ways that we were able to utilize BL.INK and ObservePoint to take steps in achieving that goal. The first one is expanding our use of QR codes. I would say this was one of the kind of initial things that we wanted to do that drew us towards BL.INK specifically. We have a lot of customers that use both our online website and also in-store or other offline touch points before making a purchase. It's a pretty big purchase for a lot of individuals. So they're interacting with the brand in a lot of different touch points there. And we're continuously trying to find ways to make that transition as seamless as possible. So we did that by expanding our use of QR codes. We added them to direct mail pieces and print catalogs. We added them to in-store signage. We're adding them to product tags and also store samples to really create that seamless physical to digital experience. I included an example here of one of our in-store signage pieces for our Adrian vanity here. So you can see we have an image. We place this next to the in-store sample of this piece. We have all the examples of the configurations that they can build with it. And then we have a QR code in the top right corner. And this really allows individuals who are looking at the physical item in the store to be able to, if they are going to leave, they can add it to their cart, or they can pull up the web page to that example collection and either learn more about the materials and the makeup of the product, where it came from, if they want to mess with any different configurations to set it up to what fits their home best. This is a great way for them to do that and to extend it to their home as well. The other thing that this QR code in our in-store signage, what it allowed us to do was to gather information that was previously unavailable. And by that, I mean, a lot of individuals who go into our store work with a design associate, and we can get a lot of information with them, obviously get their email address, all of that, and then the design associate collects what they're interested in, can build the cart from them. But for independent shoppers who are not working with a design associate, that was a bit of a gap for us. So these QR codes allowed us to gather that similar type of information from independent shoppers who do not work with a design associate, what types of products they're interested in. We can track if a user goes from one store to another and then ends up making a purchase. And then also we can, by getting them on our website directly from that in-store visit, we can get them into our retargeting pool for digital ads, which is another really great add-on for including these in some of our offline touch points. Another piece with these QR codes, which was a big sell for us, was the durability and control of BL.INK's QR codes in our printed materials. Such as our catalogs and our direct mail. In the control specifically is one thing that really stuck out to us, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in this next bullet. So the second piece that helped us improve our customer experience is eliminating broken links. I'm sure a lot of you have had experience with this. I've been in the digital world for about 10 years. I've had to deal with broken links that entire time. And before utilizing BL.INK, we found, and ObservePoint, we found that there was a significant amount of ads that we were running that had at least one link that led to a 404 page. We update our ad creative on a monthly basis, but if an ad's performing really well, it could be live for up to 2+ years. And as you all know, if any of you have an e-commerce website, things rotate out pretty consistently. We have new product that comes in, old product gets discontinued. We have editorial landing pages that get retired. And so in order to track 404 pages on hundreds of ads that we're running across a lot of different platforms gets very difficult. And that is obviously not a great experience if we're leading one of our ads or offline experiences to a 404 page. So with BL.INK and ObservePoint, we were able to completely eliminate all of the active ads that we had running, sending users to broken links, and then also set up a process to fix future broken links as soon as possible. The other piece that is really useful is within BL.INK, we're able to assign broken links to a link owner, and really we're able to spread out the work based on if it's a broken link in an email, we have that team fix that to what the correct destination should be. Our paid digital ads go to me, and we're able to really spread out the work and make sure that it gets updated and it doesn't all fall on one individual. Not only are we able to identify and fix broken links, but we also have the ability to change destinations on the back end using BL.INK. And this was a really big selling point for us. And really what drew us to that QR code piece as well. It's obviously helpful for digital ads where we don't have to create all new landing pages and necessarily new ads to get created if a landing page is broken. We can just fix it on the back end, but it's really big for updating landing destinations after an email or a direct mail piece is sent, or if a store sign is printed and a landing destination changes. We don't have to reprint that signage, which obviously costs time and money. We're able to just make that change on the back end, which has been extremely helpful, both time savings and money savings. And then the other piece is removing unnecessary redirects. While it's not necessarily as impactful as eliminating broken links, removing unnecessary redirects helps us get the customer one step closer to the intended destination with a lower chance of any web loading errors that happens in between. So again, it just improves that user experience from when you click on an ad or scan a QR code to get you directly to that destination that is intended so they can continue shopping or learning more about the product. The second goal that we were looking to take step towards tackling was strengthening our campaign results and reporting. We really wanted a better, more consistent way of reporting our marketing results. So there are a few ways that we were able to really tackle this. The first one was eliminating issues with inconsistent campaign tracking parameters. Before we started utilizing Blink, for our digital ads, I was actually manually creating our tracking parameters for each digital ad link before. So if you think we create 10 to 15 new ads a month, they're carousels with 5 individual links for each of them. I'm manually creating all those links, adding the tracking parameters. And while I think I'm great at my job, there's a lot of margin for error within that, especially if you add on anything funky like query string parameters. How does that impact your tracking links? To be able to eliminate those issues and automate a lot of that and reduce the human error has been a huge win personally for me, but a huge win for our digital tracking as well, to make sure that we're accurately tracking all of our campaign data. The second piece, which was a pretty large undertaking at the start, but has provided a ton of additional tracking and segmentation opportunities for us, is we redesigned our attributes based on company priorities and campaign themes. So what we did was we added granularity to our reporting to identify and segment some really important targeting attributes for us. So some examples of that, of attributes that we added to our tracking parameters are, is this link for a prospecting or a new customer or retention audience? What is the campaign theme for this link that we're utilizing? What is the product category that we're leading this link to? So it gave us a lot of opportunity within our analytics platform to be able to segment out those types of things, to say, what is the revenue or new customers that we're generating? What are the tactics and the types of links that are generating more new customers or more sales? The certain product categories that are generating sales, and we're able to make some really valuable insights and actions based on that data. The other piece that was also another talking point that drew us towards Blink and towards this type of transition is creating consistency across channels. So I mentioned some of those attributes. One of those is marketing themes. So what used to happen before is, say we had a marketing theme like clearance. We run clearance twice a year. We do a mid-year and an end of year. And at the end of it, we do this big wrap-up report on how did clearance do? What are the channels, tactics that did really well? What do we want to change for next year or the next cycle that we have? And that was very difficult before utilizing Blink and ObservePoint, because everyone would create different tracking parameters. They may call it a little different. One may be clearance 2024, one may be clearance, but they spelt it wrong. One may use spaces. And so to be able to accumulate all of that data was extremely difficult and required a lot of manual work, and some things would just be missed. So to be able to create this consistency was huge, to create consistent insights and reporting across channels for the company. The other piece that we added here, we utilize ObservePoint to add their data as attributes. So for example, we can add an attribute for a broken page flag. Also, we can add an attribute if web analytics is present, which I'll talk a little bit about in the last couple links here. So one thing that Dave mentioned as a capability for ObservePoint that we utilize is validating tracking for both analytics and social platform pixels and events. So this is one piece that really contributed towards strengthening our campaign results and reporting, because if we lead a digital ad or an email or any other sort of ad to a landing page that doesn't have analytics tracking, doesn't have the platform pixel that's located on the site, doesn't have events set up properly, we lose that capability of tracking and tying that back to the tactic that really drove that purchase or drove that traffic. So being able to validate tracking in real time for those types of landing destinations has been a very big win for us, to make sure that we're properly attributing the platforms that are driving sales for us. And then the last piece here is consistent link, click, and scan tracking across all platforms. So utilizing Blink and their click tracking and scan capabilities, we have a single platform that's tracking clicks the exact same way across all of our online and offline tactics that we have. So we're not having to pull from all of these different digital platforms that may report things differently, may change over time. We have one source of truth if we're looking for traffic for whatever those attributes in segmentation that we need. We can do that within the Blink platform. So this has been a big win for us, for me specifically as our digital marketing manager, to make sure that everything's being tracked properly, and really gives me that ease of mind utilizing ObservePoint and their validation tracking here to make sure that all of the investment that we're putting within digital and other tactics, we're seeing the proper return and attribution on the back end. And then I'm going to pass it over to Sam to chat through our third and final goal here.
What's been so nice about working with ObservePoint and Blink together is both of them allowed our company to create this sustainable and scalable foundation. And everything that has ended up being a win has been a building block on top of that foundation. And it's all been in partnership with how easily these two tools work together. And we've seen that we've been able to really meet the challenge that all companies have, where it's, hi, please do more with less. Your budget is smaller. You're not getting new employees, what have you. But you still have to maintain the same quality. And what's been really nice about both these tools, it's allowed us to hit that challenge head on and kind of knock it out of the park in a really robust and meaningful way. And a lot of that has stemmed from our ability to automate operations for both efficiencies and consistency. So what's been really nice, I mean, since literally day one, Blink kicked off our opportunities in this space when we had to migrate from our legacy campaign link platform to Blink, our new platform. And I'm sure everyone here knows how daunting and painful it can be to migrate to a new system. But that wasn't the case at all with Blink. They made it as simple as downloading our data from our existing platform and uploading it into theirs. That's it. A simple download and upload. I am still blown away by it a few years later. So with that, really since day one with both of these tools, we've had wins, but the biggest wins have really come from how nicely these two tools complement each other, which is why we're doing this together. Blink has a lot of value, ObservePoint has a lot of value, but combined together, the possibilities are endless. And so, for example, we leverage Blink to manage all of our marketing links in a single space, like Andy and Spencer were talking through, which then allows us to very easily give ObservePoint a comprehensive list of every link that we're using in all of our active campaigns, regardless of the platform. And if anyone here has tried to gather a list of all of the links that they have out there in the digital space before, it is a quite Herculean task. And so having it all in one place just makes things so much more simple and seamless. And so then we really have that handoff to ObservePoint where we're able to test all of those links. And as Spencer started alluding to, we can test for if that link is broken, right? And you're serving customers with a poor experience. ObservePoint lets you know if you're sending users through unnecessary redirects that slow down the experience, and as studies have shown time and time again, increase their likelihood to bounce and not convert. We can find if there's accurate campaign tracking that will result in losing credit for that campaign's influence, or because it's not just analytics tracking, it's that platform itself. We also get to be able to see that we're not skewing the campaign optimizations that are happening real time within those platforms themselves, because they're getting accurate real-time data. The other thing is we're able to look for those missing attributes that would, to Spencer's point, result in inaccurate representation of our results in our reporting, or an inability for us to bubble this up at the highest level of our C-suite all the way down to the people in the nitty-gritties and the weeds for that specific link within that campaign. And so once ObservePoint helps us identify those issues, we can automatically assign a ticket within our project management platform to each of the campaign owners, not only notifying them of the issue, but the recommended path to resolution, which has been so, so empowering across our teams, because you can't fix something if you're not aware that it's a thing. And even when you are aware of it, we're not always super duper clear in our roles of here's how you can fix this in the easiest way possible. And so ObservePoint and BL.INK have really allowed that ability for us to empower our users to get those solutions quicker and out into the production environment. Also, aside from where we're assigning tickets, in some cases, like the redirecting links, ObservePoint gives us enough information back where we're able to automatically update the links in BL.INK, which were those backend updates that Spencer was referring to. And since BL.INK leverages redirects, we don't have to make the updates in the marketing platforms themselves. We're not making updates in 10 places. We're making them in one single location, which is very sustainable and scalable across your organization. And to Spencer's earlier point, we're not reprinting marketing materials, and we're not having to panic because we sent out an email or a text message that we can't get back that had a broken or less than optimized link within it. So if a campaign owner has to then make an update, BL.INK's made it so seamless where you can just take the list of those IDs of those links, pop them directly into a filter within BL.INK, and easily see that entire list and be able to go update all of them in bulk based off of the resolution path that we're sending you down. It's such a quick and easy process where before manually you'd have to go link by link by link, hunt them down in the various platforms, make your updates, check that it's correct. Now you really just say, hi, here's my list of things. Here's exactly what I need to fix. And it's as simple as an upload. That's it. It is so mind-blowing just how much has changed and how much manual, redundant work that we've been able to take off people's plates within our organization and free them up to do the work that they are meant to be doing, that high value work that they're passionate about. And that gets them excited to be here. Let me tell you, I don't know a single person who gets excited about fixing broken links on a day-to-day basis, especially when you have hundreds and thousands of them out in the marketplace that you potentially have to fix because one person decided to change a folder structure on the website. So what's been nice about all of the ability to bulk update is that we found that it has a lot of use cases. So one is fixing things, but another thing is how often do you have to reassign campaigns to new people because someone's role has changed? Either they've left the company, they've gotten a promotion, they've moved to a different team, or someone's work has been split because it's just gotten so big. BL.INK makes it super duper easy for you to go in and say, hi, this work, go identify all of the links that are tied to this person and then split it up and reassign it to the new person. So you always have a point person who's in charge of those links, which not only adds a layer of accountability, but it also gives a lot of direction on who do you go talk to if there's a problem, which especially in bigger organizations can get really challenging when you have a bunch of teams all over that don't necessarily have to talk to each other, especially on the cadence of which things break or deployments happen on your website. So that's been massively impactful of really knowing who is the person or the team that is impacted by this issue. BL.INK's even empowered us to automate the creation of links and QR codes. So not only are we taking away how long it takes for a person to come in and create one manually, but they've also empowered us to go create them automatically. And so a really big win that we're going through right now and that we're so excited about is we want a unique QR code on every single product tag in every single one of our stores that takes you to a configured version of our product page. So we might have a product that has hundreds of thousands of different configuration variants. We want to take you to the exact one that you saw in the store so we can have you add it to your cart, have you learn about the sustainability details, have you learn about the craftspeople who poured their heart and soul into that piece of furniture. And to do that and provide that seamless experience, we're going to be creating so many QR codes, because imagine every time you do a floor change or every time a product page goes away or a product is discontinued or fabric is discontinued or replaced, those links will change. And for our end users within our store, our delivery or our design associates, all they have to do is reprint a tag and automatically they have a QR code that sends them to the appropriate destination. It has all of the applicable tracking applied, and it's got so much rich metadata about things like what is the product that we're talking about? What showroom is it in? Specifically, we're even looking at taking it as far as what room within our showroom is it in? And then we can optimize, say if we have 3 of the same chair in different rooms or in different styles or fabrics or woods, to say what is really resonating with people in that market and in that store. And as Spencer talked about earlier, we are able to watch those independent shoppers move from store to store to store, especially in markets where we have multiple stores. So if we have a smaller footprint store and a bigger footprint store, and we can watch that traffic move between, we can actually then now see, are they going to different stores for different products, or are they not finding what they want, or starting at a place, but then they want a different version, and so they go to the larger store, or back to our more boutique stores where they have a more intimate experience. And we can find all of that with just the click of a print button now. There's no manual intervention whatsoever, and those links are so hyper specific and so rich and robust in data that the possibilities are really endless of what we can find out and optimize about our customers. So that said, I really want to go into our results. So all of these building blocks have added up to say, hi, what were we able to accomplish at scale, right? Once we put all of these pieces together. And the one piece that we're most excited about is that we have realized a massive return on our monetary investment. And this was very conservatively written when we did this calculation. And so we have seen a 163 times return on our monetary investment within the first year. So that's only going to grow as we continue to scale both of these products within our organization and find new ways where we can utilize this functionality to better serve our customers and better serve our employees. We've also been able to further optimize our digital ad spend and results while improving our customer experiences. Anyone who works in the digital ad space knows it's so hyper competitive. Costs go up every single year, and you really have to be as optimized as humanly possible, or programmatically possible in most cases, to be able to not only give great customer experiences, but give them at the right time and really optimize that spend of the limited budget you have, because money isn't growing on trees, especially in companies that are growing and have goals for the end of their year in their P&L. We've also reduced our time to remediation by 27%, which is phenomenal. So how long we have that broken link out in the wild and where it could potentially harm or impact a customer experience, we've been able to dramatically reduce that time frame. And so the quantity of customers impacted is almost zero, which is absolutely incredible. We've saved an equivalent of about 33% of a full-time employee's yearly hours through automation alone, which is incredible when you think about the fact that creating links, testing links, and things of those nature really aren't at the forefront of people's minds within their job descriptions. And so this really kind of frees up that time for those employees to go out and do that more impactful work and more meaningful work that they get fulfillment from. We've saved time and money on store signage reprints. We've built confidence in our digital ads or anything that is direct mail sent, because we have the ability to change it after it's gone live. And then we've improved our overall tracking accuracy and reporting holistically. And so with these results, our company is super excited about what's to come and how we can continue to strengthen that partnership between Room and Board, BL.INK, and ObservePoint. And I really want to go into and give you guys a sneak peek of what's next. So we've done this, and our next big thing that we're tackling is we're going to go live with marketing text messages. And to show you the impact that BL.INK and ObservePoint have had on our company, as we go live with this brand new type of campaign, there's already a plan to exclusively use BL.INK links. It's not even a question anymore within our organization that BL.INK links are the future, and it's so ingrained within what we do now. And we've been able to showcase the value across our entire organization, not just individual teams. And so this was a really, really fun, exciting thing that's about to come live, and I really think showcases the value of this partnership internally to our organization for us to make that decision. We're also evaluating potential for adding more QR codes to all material swatches ordered online and picked up in store. So today you can get a swatch, but we don't actually track it. We just hand them out, and we're very generous with our ability to give swatches to all of our customers, regardless of how they request them. But what we'd like to empower them with is the ability to find more information, to find where that product was made, how you take care of that material, how stain resistant it is, because maybe it's white and you have children in your home. It gives you that potential to see the sustainability impact and anything else that might be relevant to that specific customer at that specific time when they're trying to make that decision between which material works best for them, or comparing us to a competitor. And we'd like to arm them with that information once they leave our store as well. And so that's our next big piece for QR codes. The other thing that we can potentially expand that into is tracking inventory and inventory management across our different stores. If we have QR codes that are, or swatches that are coming from fulfillment centers that are ordered online versus being picked up in store, there's a lot of moving pieces. And so being able to track the inventory of it's been checked out and that swatch is no longer in our possession, we can now automate some of our inventory fulfillment request for those as well. The other thing that I'm personally super duper excited about, such a new wave for thinking about things, is the GS1 digital links. And so currently we're exploring opportunities to leverage the GS1 digital links in an effort to improve product interactions for both customers and employees. And I love a solution that helps both. And I know GS1 digital links are fairly new, so I wanted to go over just really quickly kind of what that is, since it's such a new term. So GS1 digital links are kind of the future as far as this single human is concerned. So if you're not aware, QR codes and D2 barcodes, there's plans to replace them or use them to replace standard barcodes on all packaging by 2027. And there's a massive movement behind that that's starting with some of the biggest brands out there. Think your Coca-Colas and your L'Oreals. And so with that, in the future, QR codes would work for point of sale. And then what's nice about that, so that helps us internally if it's one thing that you're scanning. But additionally, if a customer were to scan that same QR code, then we have the ability to provide them with a wealth of information. The additional thing with that is when a QR code is scanned, it does cover and allow for a dynamic digital product passport to be created, which includes things like product details, opportunities for post-purchase user engagements, recall information, and sustainability details. As Spencer kind of alluded to, sustainability is massive for our company. And so understanding if packaging was left in someone's home, if you want to get rid of a product, what would you do, even though it's potentially 8 years later? Or how you take care of it if you run into a specific situation, and having that at our customers' fingertips in their homes whenever they need it is game changing. And from our perspective, this really opens the door to endless opportunities to engage with our customers in a meaningful and authentic way throughout the entirety of each of our products' life cycle. And I know Andy has been huge in the forefront of this. So Andy, anything you would like to add?
Thanks, Sam. In terms of the GS1 digital link, I recognize that it's very likely a new term for many people in the audience. It is really as you said, is the future of the QR code. We all think that QR codes are everywhere today, but really we're just honestly scratching the surface. If you can imagine every 1D barcode, when you go to the store, every product on every shelf, that 1D barcode that you use at the point of sale is going to be a 2D barcode, a QR code, by 2027. So brands are in the process right now of evaluating how this transition happens. And logistically, the way it works is when you take that QR code, you scan it at the point of sale, it scans just like a regular 1D barcode does today. But in the future, when you scan that at the point of sale, again, the 1D barcode process, the same exact checkout experience you have today, but you can also scan that same code with your phone. When you do that, then you'll pull up, it goes through the BL.INK platform or whichever platform you choose, and that redirect process can go to a different destination. So in this case, we have some examples here of what is commonly referred to as a digital product passport, essentially a landing page that can pull in information in real time from a multitude of different sources. So you can see here what an example might look like, and potentially kind of a crawl, walk, run, where you'll see the evolution of these pages starting out fairly simple with some basic product information. And as consumers become more engaged, as the experience becomes more enriched, you can see how this can evolve into the complete circularity of that particular product. So when you take the BL.INK CXP platform and plug it into your product information management system, we can pull in real time and create these so that you now have a landing page for every product, not just every product, but every iteration of every product. So when you're pulling this information, it might have expiration dates or batch numbers, or where was the product originated, who was the manufacturer, who was the craftsman or the artisan who actually built that particular product, and be able to pull that into that experience to share that story in real time. So again, starting with a simplistic view, but evolving very quickly into a very dynamic and enriched experience for the consumer, ultimately about creating a better first-party data experience between the consumer and the brand, and being able to build that relationship over time. So we're super excited about the GS1 Digital Ink. We're very excited that Room and Board is adopting this and starting to look at how this fits into their ecosystem, and how, as they're doing their current transition into new products and new signage and so forth, that they're adopting the GS1 Digital Ink mindset around all the different functionalities and benefits that it brings to the organization. And you'll start seeing this becoming more and more prevalent throughout the world, as it is a global change. And so this will be something you'll see around the world from brands in every corner of every store. So with that, we'll turn it over for questions. I want to thank you all for coming today, and please ask your questions in the chat, and we'll let Lee organize all that and route them accordingly.
Great. Thanks, Andy. We are getting some questions coming in through the Q&A tool. So the first one is, I have to say, all of this as a marketer feels pretty overwhelming. And so this question kind of speaks to me and probably be a question that I would ask. So when you think about your total marketing ecosystem, what are the tools or platforms that you use to execute the campaigns and measure results? How do they integrate all together? And how complicated is it to manage all of these tools? Spencer or Sam, any thoughts?
I can chat through that, Sam, if you want to add into. I would say that BL.INK and ObservePoint really make that a lot less daunting by bringing all of the links for all of our different platforms together. So we have a ton of different platforms that we manage. Me personally, for digital, I manage all of our Meta, Pinterest, search, programmatic display. And so Sam touched on this a little bit on being able to integrate those with BL.INK links, being able to utilize ObservePoint to run through and validate all the tracking on all of those makes it a lot easier to wrap my head and hands around. As we mentioned, like being able to make updates to creative, if we needed to update, say, let's use clearance as another example. If we needed to update the landing page on the back end across all of our platforms, both digital, email, if we sent out a direct mail postcard for clearance, that can all be done on a single platform instead of having to branch out to all of these different platforms. So I would say it was a lot more complicated before this partnership came together.
I actually had a really great example that came through during our holiday season. I'm sure all of you know during holiday season, every hour, every day matters so much. And we found that our gift card links right in the middle of our holiday season really weren't converting. We were sending them to a landing page. And on a call with a handful of other humans at Room and Board, we were able to decide, well, it'd probably be better just to send them to the exact site rather than a landing page where you can go purchase that gift card rather than putting an intermediary stop. It took us less than 5 minutes to be able to make that change across all of our platforms using BL.INK. Again, that bulk upload and edit is absolutely incredible. And within those couple of minutes, we were able to then reroute all of our campaigns to that ideal destination where people are able to purchase, and we watched our conversion rates skyrocket just like magic.
Well, so it sounds like you eliminated a click that people had to take to actually make the purchase. And when you talk about being on different platforms, were those in-store signs or ads, or kind of where did you make those changes?
My recollection now, keep in mind, it's been a hot second since it's been holiday season. But with that said, there was print for sure. We had both in-store signage and direct mail campaigns that were already released. There was email campaigns that were sent, and then we had it across a handful of our digital platforms that Spencer has previously mentioned. So it was a robust offer of where we were targeting customers at this point in time, and being able to change it in one seamless single update to fix it all was pretty incredible.
I think to do it during a time when a lot of people are out of office as well is huge. I think the other piece that I wanted to really hammer home with this on the transition to ObservePoint and Blink too, we made the full transition over from our normal links that we had previously to importing in utilizing Blink links across all of our platforms. I was on paternity leave during that time, so managing all of our digital links, they were able to do that. With that kind of ownership of different links, they're able to transition that. And just the ease of that transition, I think, really shines when you have one of the main people who is previously creating and managing these links to have them out of office and still be able to have a very seamless transition over, I think really speaks for itself.
And you mentioned that you guys do email campaigns and things like that. What tools do you use?
Currently, our
campaigns like that?
primary emails come out of Salesforce Marketing Cloud.
Okay.
But I have seen Blink at other companies that I've leveraged in multiple email platforms.
Cool. Thank you. All right. So how does Room and Board balance this data collection of all the points of the data that you're seeing across your stores, for example? How do you balance that with customer privacy and data security?
I think this one is very near and dear to Spencer and I's heart. We both represent pieces of our privacy team within our company. And I will say Room and Board is well known for putting the customer experience first and really wanting to build that trust and that relationship and respect our customers in whatever way we can. And what's been so nice is not only do ObservePoint and Blink meet all of the compliance standards that you would want and hope for regardless of your industry, but they do hold us accountable of making sure that we're not collecting PII within platforms we shouldn't be. And by that, I mean, we have the ability to scan and monitor everything that's being tracked across our entirety of our ecosystem, even things we didn't know that were there. Anyone who works in the digital space knows tags pop up all the time. Piggybacking tags are a plague that infects every single website on the internet. And being able to quickly identify those and ensure that our customers' information isn't going to places that it shouldn't be or they haven't agreed to, and respecting the consent that they've granted us is huge for us. And we honestly wouldn't be able to do it without these two tools.
Great. Andy, do you have anything to add?
I just wanted to add a quick comment that one of the things that we're seeing is that the importance of compliance and security, and honestly just the governance aspects of the tools inside the marketing stack is almost as important as the features and capabilities of the tools themselves. So going through that process, like we just finished our SOC 2, Type 2, and ISO 27001 audits. So those pieces themselves, that's one of the first questions that we're often asked is, where do you sit in compliance and data privacy and security? And just the importance of the paramount aspect of how you lead with that, as opposed to following with data privacy and security, but making sure that it's part of that forefront of that tech stack. And that, again, as data is passing from system to system, that you have all those pieces in place and that is passed securely and safely is almost, again, as important as the features themselves.
Great. So what was the biggest challenge you faced in implementing all these new tools and processes, and how did you overcome them?
I think every tool comes with its own unique set of challenges. And so I think even in just the example of ObservePoint and Blink, they both had challenges that you would have with any new tool. I think across both of them, there's so much you can do in the tool that training was one of the big things of getting all of our users educated and where they felt comfortable and empowered to leverage the tools to their fullest capabilities. And I will say that has been one of my favorite parts about our partnership with both of these companies is the customer service is unmatched anywhere else. If you have a question, if you need support, if you need someone to answer the question you've already asked 5 times, but in a different way, so it resonates with a different human, they're willing to do it and go above and beyond and support you through whatever it takes to get those tools up, running, and profitable for within your organization. And that's how we were able to achieve our results so quickly. Spencer, anything to add from your perspective?
I would just say, I don't necessarily know if this was a challenge. This is what I thought was going to be a challenge. So I'm going to morph the question to that. I would say adoption with any new tools that you're adding across an entire company. I mean, this is a tool that's used by, initially it was like, okay, we use this in marketing to create links for things, but now it's used by our web team. It's used by a lot of different aspects of the business email. And so adaptability, I thought, was going to be a big challenge. We have new tools that kind of come and go here and there. So getting people to really latch on, and I thought it was going to be difficult, but Sam kind of mentioned before, BL.INK has really become a household name within Room and Board here on if we have a new tactic that we're testing, it's very well known on we're going to use BL.INK links for this. What do we need for attributes? Do we need to add anything new? And to get that type of language across, I mean, our content and creative team is using that type of language, and our email team is using that type of language. So to be able to so quickly get that adoption rate up and it become, that partnership really become a part of our internal speak, I think was something that I wasn't really expecting and has been great.
Piggybacking on that, I think a lot of the wins that we had from adoption came from really 2 pieces. One, if you bring on a tool traditionally for one specific purpose, it meets that purpose. What's been really nice about both ObservePoint and BL.INK is the scalability and sustainability that you have within the product. Of it is very ready to support a small use case, but also a massive use case and grow with us as our use cases change and evolve. The other big piece is both of these tools have made it so easy to meet people where they're at. And what I mean by that is we have ObservePoint attributes within BL.INK where marketers are able to look at those results when they need them and when they're managing their campaigns. We have both of these tools integrated within our project management tools. The tools talk to each other. So regardless of where you're working or how you're working, these tools can meet you within those process flows. And not every tool can do that. Most of the time it's just one more login you have to remember and another tool you need to understand. But both of these tools have really helped our journey in adoption by making it so easy to integrate with everything else in our tech stack and really meet people with the information that they need when they need it, where they need it, regardless of the team.
Great. Dave, I think you had something to add around privacy.
Yeah, just one quick thing on privacy. We've seen among many of our customers that the same people that are responsible for attribution, campaign management, and analytics tracking often find themselves responsible for privacy compliance with an emphasis on cookies. I may even venture to say most. And just wanted to share one thing about that. This is why we built a privacy compliance capability into ObservePoint. So if you're already using ObservePoint, you can do privacy compliance for no additional cost. Same number of pages that we'll scan, you can get privacy compliance and analytics compliance and tracking validation, all for the same cost. And just one quick note, we just launched a new feature that will allow OneTrust users. So if you've been using OneTrust's consent management platform, you can now, with just a few clicks, you can import your entire OneTrust cookie configuration into ObservePoint and then audit your site to validate that it's actually honoring that configuration. And within just a few minutes, you can get a sense for whether you have any cookies on your site that are tracking your users, which you did not explicitly allow. which is really probably the #1 risk and the most common problem we see with consent management. So just a little plug there for you. You can use that feature if you for free if you want to give it a try today.
Great, thanks, Dave. So we'll answer one more question, and for companies considering, trying to add these new tools, sometimes it's difficult to get buy-in, and the things you guys mentioned about implementation. So what advice would you give people who are inspired by your story and want to build in all of these tools? What advice do you give them to get started?
I'll jump in first. I have a quick one. I would say do exactly what we did in some of the slides here and tie it directly to company goals. It is such an easy way to justify the very low investment that it takes to utilize these two tools. And by listing out here are the company goals that you've listed on across the company. Here are the exact things that these partners do and the tasks that we'll do in order to tie it to these company goals is such an easy way to speak the same language as your C-suite team and really resonate with them. So I would say that's the easiest way to get buy-in for tools like these.
I agree with everything Spencer said. The thing that I would tack on too is if you're looking for similar technologies, I think you're doing the wrong thing. I think you need to look for similar partners. What's been very refreshing about our relationship with both of these companies is yes, they're a technology. Yes, they solve a problem, but there's a lot of technologies that solve a lot of problems. The big differentiator that we've had is we have a true partnership. We have a problem. These humans at both of these companies actually care that we have this problem and want to help us find the most sustainable and scalable and efficient way for us to do that and then articulate our results. And so it goes so much further than just a technology that you log into that solves an issue. It becomes this endless cycle of, hi, this thing's coming out. How can we put it into what you are doing now? Or how does this fit? Or have you thought about? And having more partners who want to achieve the same goals as you, who have different perspectives and different opportunities that you don't even know exist, has been absolutely unreal. It's been phenomenal. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Great. Well, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us.